Tom, what I've been witnessing here today has been my first observable time-traveling snowstorm, which seems to have disappeared off meteorological maps sometime around last Wednesday and reappeared here on Tuesday the somethingth of February. Of course, time travel isn't really a surprising property of snow, it's just rarely observed. Those who have more than a grade school knowledge of snow and its special properties know what I'm talking about. For example, the common misconception that snow is just frozen water. I ask you, is it really? Take, for example, an observation of ice. Ice, as we know, is frozen water. Now look at snow. Are they the same? No. They're completely different shapes and colors. You don't even really need to be a scientist to know that there's some sort of difference between them. But it does take a little bit of creative thinking to realize that there's a massive cover-up and conspiracy behind all this. So let's first talk about what air is really. Do you know? I know I do. In a simple experiment, I'll show you how compression of air in a tightly sealed container, in this case my mouth, can produce frozen air, which in reality is what snow is. Snow. Now that we've proven that snow is just frozen compressed air, why keep it a secret? To tell you the truth, it all has to do with the many mysterious properties of snow that most scientists can't even explain yet. Probably the first reason for the cover-up, though, was because scientists predicted that there would be a massive amount of money in power. And everyone knows that snow is basically a manifestation of perpetual energy. When you look out your window, you see all this snow moving around in the wind, right? Wrong. The snow creates the wind, and with its own energy, it keeps it moving around in the air. Now, a long time ago, politicians were smart enough to hide this truth behind an old wives' tale that was so ridiculous it couldn't be true, which is commonly known as the snow grows out of the ground and then the wind blows it up into the air theory. It was a brilliant lie to concoct because no one was foolish enough to believe that. It took another 47 years for the second and probably most important property of snow to be discovered. This one was great because it was naturally concealable, and that is the time travel property of snow. You've all almost been there. Whenever snow touches the back of your neck and you feel that tingly sensation that you absolutely can't stand, that's the first stage. Scientists who have gone under anesthetic while putting snow on their back have actually traveled back in time as far as 6 to 7 months. The uncomfortable tinkling sensation, which was what made the property so naturally difficult to discover in the first place, is the beginnings of the snow to meld to the central nervous system of humans and other animals that we assume have withstood the chills long enough to go back in time. It's also important to know that this fusion between snow and spine is not always functional, and it is often fatal. In a test relating to 10,000 subjects, 98% of them died due to uncomfort of the back of the neck. And of the remaining 2%, only 5 people were able to achieve time travel, and they were drunk. Military properties of snow include the ability to withstand and absorb microwave radiation and fire it back upon its enemies. Snow can also serve as a shield against Tomahawk and Sidewinder air-to-air missiles, but it's very hard to coat the planes in snow and keep it on. That's why sometimes it's just used in the insulation of the wings. Probably the third most mysterious property of snow is the installation of half-sentience into rubber and some other inanimate objects. What you and I know as slippery conditions on the road is really just snow bringing life and death quickly and sporadically to the wheels of the tires. They realize they're alive and start to walk away, but then they become part of the car again, and that is what makes it seem like it's hard to control a vehicle during a slippery snowstorm. In conclusion, it's not really hard to see proof of any of what I just talked about. All you need to do is be knowledgeable and look. And now a snow-type haiku. Dinos and cavemen. Total possibility, if Ice Age involved.